Part 3, day 7. I'm very pleased with the amount of work we've gotten done in a week. We didn't work 7 days straight. Took a break. I guess yesterday we didn't work. And maybe one other day we didn't work.
Yeah, and another day we worked, but like it was
a couple hours. Yeah.
And...
Yeah, like day 6 we like stacked wood and then built this fire and fixed this bad boy up, which by the way has been coming in handy. I'm so glad we found that under the rubble, and we found the tire for like $17. The whole rim, tube, and everything inflated already. I think that this slab may actually go back to that wall, and I did hit a bit on this side as well, so I'm going to try to dig back to this side, hoping to have a whole slab on one side or the other that I can park the car on for now. I'm hoping this side has a slab since there's no adobe on that second story. Whereas on this side, there is adobe on that second story, and I'd hate to park the car on this slab and have this fall. That would be unfortunate. We did get a couple quotes for large rollaway dumpsters, so hopefully we'll have one of those here soon enough. And I did get a number for a man with an excavator. Coincidentally, earlier, an excavator drove through town. I heard what I thought was heavy machinery, so I ran out there, and sure as heck a backhoe was like dang near at the end of the street, so I didn't have a time to stop him. So there's somebody around here, at least maybe in this town, that has something I could possibly hire. We whipped up a little bench for ourselves. Thankfully we had the material. That beam is solid too. So I made myself a ramp, and as you can see, I've been piling this up pretty good. The hopes of the guy being able to come straight through these doors and just scoop this stuff up right into a dumpster. I can't tell you how satisfying it was for me to be able to uncover this entire slab. That gives me hope that on this side there will also be another slab, as I already know that there's some right there because I've dug down right there. If it goes all the way across to there, that'd be so perfect. That way I can park the car like I was saying. Okay, I think I'm pushing my luck even more now. I'm going to see if I can get this stuff knocked off of here. This beams seem pretty sturdy.
Well, they better be.
Pretty good.
Nice.
Well, I think we definitely did pretty good today. Got this wall pretty much all the way down to the stone base. This other adobe wall is the same. It has a stone base. I don't know if that's a damp proof course or what the reasoning behind that was. I'd say there's definitely a good amount of space in here now that I've got it all opened up, and you can see this is going to be a decent sized yard. Definitely bigger than the plot we have in Catalonia right now with our trailer. As you can see, we got all this wood burned down, so that's one less thing to worry about. And we're looking pretty good. So we were sitting here and we heard a bunch of honking, and there was some dudes in the street. Look at this freaky little mandrake. Some dudes out in the street honking, so I said, what's all this freaking honking about? And I came out here, and if you saw the beginning couple parts to this series, we had a bunch of metal piled up here. So actually our neighbor was telling us in the summer they'll do bulk pickup just out beside that fountain there, and they'll move this stuff out for us when we're not here, which I thought was nice. But then these guys came and took all the metal, which was a majority of what that pile was, so it really worked out for us and it worked out for them. And I told them to stop by periodically as we clean. I'll throw more metal out there if I find some. We're here on day 8. First thing I figured we should do is knock this down, because initially we thought about leaving it, but now that I think about it, it's pretty crappy. And yesterday when we were moving some stuff, actually when I was up there, I noticed how loose it was. Look at this. It's terribly unsafe.
Right, safety
so
first.
I'm just gonna knock it down right now. I hope it doesn't knock that bigger beam down. It should be okay. I'm hoping when I drop it, it snaps in half. Well, not quite in half.
Right.
Pretty good view of the progress up here on my mountain heap. That other side there did actually have another slab that seems to be going all the way across. The only problem though, this was like a concrete slab, and those are like big flat stones. I'm guessing this side was most likely older, and man, definitely more difficult on that side. On this side it wasn't so bad. Once I got down to that pad, I could just slide the shovel evenly along the base of the pad, or the top of the pad underneath all the debris without snagging it. But on this side the stones are not level, so every time I go to hit the shovel it just slams into a rock and like jars my whole body. We were correct about this other side having a slab that goes all the way to the wall. I did realize that unfortunately I won't be able to utilize this slab to park my car on because the car is too low, and without putting a ramp here, I wouldn't be able to get up here. But I wouldn't be able to put a ramp here because the door needs to open inward. So I'll just have to have, hopefully, the heavy machinery just remove both of these slabs and then level the whole ground out. I think at this point I'm going to do my best to knock this wall down. I better put my safety glasses on. Let's see if I can give it a couple whacks at the top and just slowly break it down. I have a good feeling about this side. Nice. That was so satisfying. I didn't realize it was that loose. I think I put a little more into it than I needed to, actually. Into day 8, pretty productive. Got that entire side cleaned up, cleared out. Final act of the day, I started busting this rock, this lower rock wall was the base of that adobe wall that was there. My intentions are to see how many rocks I can get out. I want to save those rocks because my intention is to turn this other small piece of land, this plot here, you can see the old roof outline and these inner and outer walls. This is also ours. I want to turn this into a garage, but I want to rebuild those walls with stone the way they were, as you can see there. So I'll pull all the rocks out of there, and I'll pull all the rocks out of here, and hopefully use those to build the walls to that, which will end up being the garage. Intentions are to put the car here parked while we're gone inside this, walled area while we build that. Here on day 9, it's been a few days since we've worked. It's been raining here and there. Wrist was hurting quite a bit. Elbows hurting quite a bit. Just reminding me I'm not as young as I used to be. So we decided we're going to take this wall down. We've been back and forth about it, but we decided we're going to take it down, and I took the wood door frame out of there. I think that's given me a bit of a looser structure now. I started tossing this piece of wood out at it and seeing if I could knock it down. So let's see if we can get some of that middle piece knocked out. I figure if I get that bridge knocked out, these two sides will be fairly loose, at least I'm hoping, and I can start breaking them down piece by piece. Let's give it a toss and see what we get. Nothing. Just a little bit. A sledgehammer would come in handy.
Yes, it would.
If I just stood up here and whacked it a few times.
Be careful. Oh my God, be careful, old man.
Bunch of ants living in there. Coming down kind of easy now. Busted a couple pieces over here and been shaking it a little, see if I can get it to loosen up, and I think I'm getting somewhere. Let's see.
That felt good.
That was awesome. I felt it like moving, and then I saw a crack forming. I was like, oh yes. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good, and I think we made a right choice taking that wall down. What do you think, Rachel?
Yeah, I think it's better. I think I wanted this illusion of extra privacy, but
Right.
but really we're behind
A
a gate
wall,
anyway. It doesn't
right.
seem necessary now. It's much better to have open space. I
Yeah,
think.
and you can really see how much space we have to work with now, which is really nice. It's really a large area. It'll be a really large yard garden area. We were keeping this side in hopes of having like a shaded area, but in fact, we think we'll do it over here, build maybe like a carport type thing and have a slab, and then we'll be overlooking the rest of this. But I think now we're going to work at getting this other side down. We've got this one side down. We might as well keep going. We were thinking we would just leave it for the heavy machinery, but it gives us something to do, and it's very satisfying
Yeah,
for sure. All right, I don't know if I'll be able to get this one to wobble as much as that side. I did break a couple pieces, but let's see if I can get this one to wobble and crack. Woo! Man, I think I got more on that one than the other side.
I think so too. And I bet if there wasn't this huge pile of brick here, I could have gotten more of it.
Woo! Let's come over here. There's so much dust.
Yeah, there is.
We were wearing our particle masks, but we ran out. We ran out of our box of COVID masks that we had since 2019, huh?
I think 2019 we got those, yeah.
Finally went through all 100. Check that out, guys. As you can see, we got the other side knocked down. Pretty stoked about the amount of room we have. See that crane up, or that stork? Did you see him?
No.
He was just cruising. You can see all those swallows, I guess. Oh, there he goes, look.
There it is. There's so many storks around here. It's so cool.
And there's a ton of... these are swallows, I guess, huh?
I think so.
The weather's gone to crap on us, and I'm pretty sure there's not much more we can do. I started to beat at that, what I guess was like a water feeding area, but they've laid the bricks a different way than the walls, so they're not as easy to separate, and it was really just jarring my body. Figure we'll leave that up to the heavy machinery. So hopefully we can get a hold of this guy that has a machine, and we can get the couple dumpsters delivered. We got a couple quotes. We think there's one company we'd like to go with. Prices seemed reasonable, and they weren't too far, so they weren't charging us too much to take the loads away. So the plan is to get the dumpster here first, and if we have to work a couple of days by hand throwing some stuff in until the guy can come, we'll do that. Hopefully we can work it out so that we get the dumpster and the guy can come the next day or something to that effect. So we'll see how it goes. Wish us luck. Thanks for tuning in on day 7, 8, and 9.